Everyone loves watching a pathetic underdog transform into an unstoppable god. Today, we rank the absolute best anime where weak main characters become ridiculously overpowered. We begin with number 6, Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells. Mamuka Tuka is summoned to a fantasy realm alongside his classmates, but the ruthless goddess overseeing them deems his abilities useless. Cast aside into a deadly labyrinth designed to eliminate failures, Tuka discovers his seemingly pathetic status effect spells actually bypass all enemy resistances. Armed with the power to paralyze and poison monsters far above his level, he vows brutal vengeance against the deity who discarded him. This series shines by turning unconventional magic into an instrument of absolute devastation, proving that even the lowest-ranked skills can dominate when wielded by a truly desperate and highly calculating young survivor. What makes this anime incredibly engaging is its dark tone and the sheer satisfaction of watching karma strike back. Tuka does not rely on flashy explosions or heroic swordsmanship. Instead, he systematically tortures his opponents using paralysis and toxins. The psychological horror he inflicts on arrogant enemies is endlessly entertaining. It completely subverts standard power fantasies by making the weakest abilities the most terrifying weapons in existence. You will find yourself cheering for his relentless cruelty because the villains absolutely deserve every second of it. Number 5. My instant death ability is so overpowered. Yogiri Takatu appears completely unremarkable when his entire high school class is transported to a dangerous parallel universe. While his peers receive magical gifts and grand destinies from a sage, Yogiri is entirely left behind with seemingly zero potential. However, the world quickly learns that Yogiri harbors an ancient and unstoppable power. He possesses the literal concept of instant death. By simply thinking about it or uttering a single command, he can instantly terminate any living creature, magical entity, or inanimate object. This absolute certainty makes him the ultimate anomaly within a world built entirely on traditional stats and leveling. This show is pure comedic genius, draped in a fantasy disguise. The appeal comes from the sheer absurdity of the main character possessing a power that breaks all established logic. While arrogant heroes monologue and display their immense magical auras, Yogiri just drops them dead instantly. It feels incredibly refreshing to watch a protagonist who completely ignores typical narrative struggles. The deadpan delivery and lack of effort make every encounter hilarious, turning traditional epic battles into fantastic punchlines that never seem to lose their charm. Number 4. Chillin in another world with level 2 super cheat powers. Banaza is summoned to a magical kingdom as a potential hero candidate, but his initial baseline stats are so incredibly pathetic that the royalty banishes him to a distant forest. Left to die among vicious monsters, everything changes the very moment he defeats a simple slime. Upon hitting level 2, his mediocre stats miraculously jump to the infinity symbol, granting him access to every single spell and combat ability in existence. Now operating under the name Fleo, he tries to live a peaceful merchant life, though his absurd power constantly attracts dangerous conflicts and a diverse cast of loyal companions. This entry brilliantly balances relaxing slice-of-life elements with ridiculously overpowered action scenes. Fleo stands out because he actively avoids warfare, preferring to build a home and marry a former demon. Watching an invincible being try so desperately to remain humble and ordinary creates fantastic situational comedy. The contrast between his devastating capabilities and his gentle personality is genuinely heartwarming. It delivers exactly what fans want by showcasing supreme dominance while maintaining a wholesome, character-driven narrative that never feels overly edgy or dramatic. Number 3. Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest Season 3. Hajime Nagumo began his journey as a completely worthless synergist who was betrayed and left to perish in an abyss. After eating monster flesh and mutating into a brutal gunslinger, he conquered the labyrinth and became the ultimate powerhouse. In the highly anticipated 3rd season, Hajime continues his ruthless campaign across the treacherous world alongside his incredibly loyal vampire companion Yu. This continuation focuses heavily on uncovering ancient secrets, destroying divine threats, and showing the elite classmates who originally mocked him exactly why he is now the most feared and unstoppable force on the entire magical fantasy continent existing today. The sheer edge and unadulterated swagger of this anime remain unmatched in the genre. Hajime is the definitive anti-hero who completely refuses to spare his enemies or tolerate disrespect. Season 3 amplifies the action sequences and delivers massive emotional payoffs for longtime fans. You watch this purely for the incredible catharsis of seeing arrogant nobles and corrupt deities getting absolutely destroyed by advanced firearms. It masterfully feeds that deeply ingrained desire to see the ultimate outcast rise up and completely humiliate every single doubter. Number 2. The Banished Court Magician aims to become the strongest. Noel was an incredibly dedicated magician who tirelessly supported his prestigious kingdom, yet he was brutally fired for having seemingly unimpressive elemental magic. Cast out and labeled a complete failure by his arrogant superiors, Noel embarks on a solitary journey to prove his true worth. Free from the stifling restrictions of the royal court, he discovers that his basic spells can be combined and evolved into devastatingly destructive magical arts. This series brilliantly chronicles his rapid ascension from a discarded support mage into an unrivaled magical juggernaut capable of obliterating entire armies with absolute ease and terrifying precision right now. What truly elevates this particular series is the intensely satisfying progression system. It is incredibly rewarding to watch Noel meticulously build his strength through pure innovation rather than relying on unearned cheat codes. The animation during his spell combos is visually spectacular and genuinely stunning to behold. It perfectly taps into the universal fantasy of showing ungrateful employers exactly what they lost. You will stay absolutely hooked watching him effortlessly dismantle powerful enemies while those who betrayed him wallow in bitter regret and complete despair. Number 1. Sentenced to be a hero. In a dark world where heroism is treated as a brutal punishment rather than a noble calling, our protagonist is forcibly branded and sent to the chaotic front lines. Originally possessing weak stats and zero combat experience, he is completely expected to die immediately alongside other condemned criminals. Instead, the intense desperation awakens a dormant and terrifyingly broken ability within him. By absorbing the traumatic damage inflicted by horrific demons, he exponentially increases his own raw power. He rapidly transforms from a pathetic sacrificial lamb into an unstoppable force of destruction, ultimately challenging the corrupt empire that originally condemned him needlessly. This anime easily claims the top spot for its uncompromisingly bleak atmosphere and spectacular character growth. The psychological toll of his power makes his evolution feel incredibly earned and devastatingly impactful. You are not just watching someone get strong. You are witnessing a broken man forge himself into a living weapon through sheer agony. The fights are visually stunning, incredibly violent, and emotionally exhausting. It completely redefines the underdog trope, delivering an unforgettable experience that will keep you on the absolute edge of your seat. Watching the weakest protagonist evolve into an unstoppable powerhouse never loses its incredible appeal. Which of these drastic transformations impressed you the most? Tell us your favorites in the comments below. Join our growing community and return tomorrow for another brilliant deep dive into modern anime.